Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Band Together Leadership. My name is Paul Everts. I'm your host. You can reach me on my email address, which is BAND, the number 2 together, bandtogether, Comcast.net. Also, go to our website, and you'll see that I have a book, Conducting My Life. Would love you to buy the book. I have several in my garage. Also, go to the curriculum tab, and you'll see I'm part of the John Maxwell team. Got several different topics to cover. Select one. Let's work together. I'm a coach. I'm a trainer. I'm a speaker. Love Dr. Maxwell and his material. Helped me tremendously. I'm recording this on January 31st, 11:15 a.m. in my beautiful home northeast of Sacramento, California. We're working our way through Dr. Maxwell's The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. My hope is that we go 15 minutes, no longer. I have a great announcement to make after this, at the end of this March the 1st, 2022 episode. It's all coming together, and it's really great. And I'll go into that announcement, as I said, the last 2 or 3 minutes. We are on number 7 here, chapter 7, the law of respect. And what happens for those that are new, I simply read parts, not all of it, because I want you to buy his book. Go buy the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It's a fantastic book. And read the entire book. So I'm giving you highlights. And I just as a reminder or an introduction, I'm a retired high school music teacher. I taught high school from July 3rd, 1989 to December 22nd, 2021. Reason being is again, in California, if you don't think like they want you to think, you need to leave. Tolerance is a different meaning in the state of California. So I needed to leave. I couldn't do what they were asking me to do. Ethically, morally, just couldn't do it. And in doing so, I have put myself in a situation where I need to find a job. And as of January 31st, put several resumes out. Don't have a job. Maybe by March 1st, I'll have a job. I'm creating myself a job, and again, that will be the announcement at the end of today's episode. So let's see what the law of respect is to Dr. Maxwell. He says, people naturally follow leaders stronger than themselves. So let's go ahead and read the first couple pages of that chapter. Let's talk about it and see where we're at. So here we go. If you had seen her, your first reaction might have been respect, not have been respect. She wasn't a very impressive-looking woman. Just a little over 5 feet tall, late 30s, dark brown, weathered skin. She couldn't read, couldn't write. The clothes she wore were coarse and worn. When she smiled, people could see that her top 2 front teeth were missing. She lived alone. The story was that she had abandoned her husband when she was 29. She gave him no warning. One day, he woke up and the lady was gone. She talked to him only once after that. Year later, and she never mentioned his name again. Her employment was intermittent. Most of the time, she took domestic jobs in small hotels, jobs like scrubbing floors, making up rooms, cooking. But just about everything, or every spring and fall, she would disappear from her place of employment, come back broke, and work again to scrape together what little money she could. When she was present on the job, she worked hard and seemed physically tough. But she also was known to have bouts where she would suddenly fall asleep, coming in the middle of a conversation even. She attributed her affliction to a blow to the head she had taken during a teenage fight. Who would respect a woman like that? Well, the answer is the more than 300 slaves who followed her to freedom out of the South. They recognized and respected her leadership. So did just about every abolitionist in New England. The year was 1857. The woman's name, Harriet Tubman. While she was only in her 30s, Harriet Tubman came to be called Moses because of her ability to go into the land of captivity and bring so many of her people out of slavery's bondage. Harriet Tubman started life as a slave. She was born in 1820 and grew up in the farmland of Maryland. When she was 13, Harriet Tubman received the blow to her head that troubled her all her life. She was in a store. A white overseer demanded Tubman's assistance so that he could beat an escaping slave. When she refused and blocked the overseer's way, the man threw a 2-pound weight that hit Tubman in the head. She nearly died, and her recovery took months. At age 24, she married John Tubman, a free black man. But when she talked to him about escaping to freedom in the North, he couldn't hear of it. He said that if she tried to leave, he'd turn her in. When she resolved to take her chances and go north in 1849, Harriet Tubman did so alone, without a word to John Tubman. Harriet Tubman's first biographer, Sarah Bradford, said that Tubman told her following, "I had reasoned this out in my mind. There was one of two things I had a right to, one liberty or the other death. If I could not have one, I would have the other. For no man should take me alive. I should fight for my liberty as my strength lasted, and when the time came for me to go, the Lord would let them take me." End of quote. Harriet Tubman made her way to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, via the Underground Railroad, a secret network of free blacks, white abolitionists, and Quakers who helped escaping slaves on the run. Though free herself, Harriet Tubman vowed to return to Maryland and bring her family out. In 1850, she made her first return trip as an Underground Railroad conductor. Someone who retrieved and guided out slaves with the assistance of sympathizers along the way. A leader of steel. Each summer and winter, Harriet Tubman worked as a domestic, scraping together the funds she needed to make return trips to the South. And every spring and fall, she risked her life by going south and returning with more people. She was fearless, and her leadership was unshakable. It was extremely dangerous work, and when people in her charge wavered, she was strong as steel. Tubman knew escaped slaves who returned would be beaten and tortured until they gave information about those who had helped them. So Tubman never allowed any people she was guiding to give up. "Dead folks tell no tales," she would tell a faint-hearted slave as she put a loaded pistol to his head. "You go on and die, or dies. You go on that train or you die." Between 1850 and 1860, Harriet Tubman guided out more than 300 people, including many of her own family members. Harriet Tubman made 19 trips in all and was very proud of the fact that she never once lost a single person under her care. She said, "I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." Southern whites put a $12,000 price on Tubman's head. That was a fortune at the time. Southern blacks simply called her Moses. By the start of the Civil War, she had brought more people out of slavery than any other American in history, black, white, male, or female. Increasing respect. Harriet Tubman's reputation and influence commanded respect, and not just among slaves who dreamed of gaining her respect. Influential Northerners of both races sought out Harriet Tubman. She spoke at rallies in homes throughout Philadelphia, Boston, even St. Catharines, Canada, Auburn, New York, where she eventually settled. People of prominence sought her out, such as Senator William Seward, who later became Abraham Lincoln's Secretary of State, an outspoken abolitionist and former slave Frederick Douglass. Harriet Tubman's advice and leadership were also requested by John Brown, the famed revolutionary abolitionist. Brown always referred to the former slave as General Tubman, and he was quoted as saying she was a better officer than most who he had seen, and could command an army as successfully as she had led her small group of fugitives. That is the essence of the law of leadership. Very cool. So, a test of leadership. Harriet Tubman would appear to be an unlikely candidate for leadership because the deck was certainly stacked against her. She was uneducated. She lived in a culture that did not respect African Americans. And Tubman labored in a country where women did not have a right to vote yet. Despite her circumstances, Harriet Tubman became an incredible leader. The reason is simple. People naturally follow leaders stronger than themselves. Everyone who came in contact with Harriet Tubman recognized her strong leadership ability and felt compelled to follow her. That is how the law of respect works. Isn't that cool? Come on now, people. It's not a guessing game. People don't follow others by accident. They follow individuals whose leadership they respect. Someone who's an 8 in leadership on a scale out from 1 to 10, and 10 being strongest, does not go out and look for a 6 to follow. That person naturally follows a 9 or a 10. The less skilled follow, the more highly skilled and gifted. Occasionally, a strong leader may choose to follow someone weaker than himself. But when that happens, it is for a reason. For example, the stronger leader may do it out of respect for the person's office or past accomplishments, or he may be following the chain of command. In general, though, followers are attracted to people who are better leaders than themselves. That is the law of respect. And then it'll go on from there. Those closest to him respected Smith the most, but the law of respect can be best seen in Smith's career by looking at the way his players interacted with him. They respected him for many reasons. This is Dean Smith. They respected him for many reasons. He taught them much about basketball as well as life. He pushed them to achieve academically, with every player, nearly every player getting a degree. He made them winners, and he showed them incredible loyalty and respect. Charlie Scott, who played for Dean Smith and graduated from North Carolina in 1970, advanced to play pro basketball and then went on to work as marketing director for Champion Products. Concerning his time with Dean Smith, he said, as one of the first black college athletes in the ACC, I experienced many difficult moments during my time at North Carolina, but Dean Smith, Coach Smith, was always there for me. On one occasion, as we walked off the court following a game at South Carolina, one of their fans called me a big black baboon. 2 assistants had to hold Coach Smith back from going after the guy. It was the first time I'd ever seen Coach Smith visibly upset, and I was shocked. But more than anything else, I was proud of Coach Smith. And it goes on to talk about, again, Coach Smith and how his strength inspired his people. The greatest test of respect comes when a leader creates major change in an organization. And is that happening for you? That might have happened between March 20th, 2020 to now, when this is being watched. There was a lot of change. And did you gain respect because you were strong enough to lead people through that change? I know I could have done a better job. It was hard. And that's why I read books like The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. So again, please share this with others. Here's the announcement. On the 29th of April at 7 o'clock, 7 to 9 p.m., I'll be at, they call it 210, downtown Visalia, hopefully working with close to 100 teenagers out of this book. Okay? Again, John Maxwell, Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn for Teens. Great, great book. And then the other big news is I will be with hopefully 200 adults and promoting this and learning from it. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, again by John Maxwell. You can see more information about that on www.conductingmylife.com. Again, April 29th for teens, 7 to 9. April 30th for adults. That will be at the Presbyterian Church in Visalia. More information, go to www.conductingmylife.com. And remember, I recorded this on January 31st. It's now March the 1st. That shows you I am strong enough to say, it's happening! again. Okay, looking forward to it. Begin with the end in mind. Every choice you make is who you are, so choose wisely. Seek first to understand, then be understood. And finally, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Hope to see you April 29th and or April 30th. God bless you. Thanks for watching. Bye.